Hello again. One person has been killed and another critically injured in a horror crash on the Surf Coast. A truck and two cars collided at the intersection of Moores and Anglesea roads. A woman in her 60s sadly died at the scene. The driver of the second vehicle was taken to hospital fighting for life. The truck driver is helping police with their investigation. Food and beverage manufacturers across Ballarat are sharing nearly $200,000 to slash energy bills. Successful businesses include Hot Temple, Artie Jacks and Parambeat Brewing. It'll help reduce emissions, and Victorian Senator Sarah Henderson says the funds will create jobs and help businesses thrive. And two Wombat pedestrian crossings have been upgraded at a busy intersection in East Warrnambool. It's to improve safety for nearby residents at the Ingenia Gardens Retirement Village and for youngsters heading to the local primary school. Hello again. A 30-year-old Eagle Hawk man has been saddled with 59 charges after months of alleged criminal activity. It took police from Rushworth, Heathcote, Kyabram and Elmore to catch up with him, plus help from the Air Wing helicopter. He was arrested in the Tooleen area. The charges include thefts, drugs and dangerous driving. The investigation is still ongoing. Jim Reed Racing is on its way to Heathcote Park Raceway for round 5 of the Top Fuel Australia Championship. It follows the horror track incident last week where the crew was engulfed in a fireball when a dragster exploded. After a thorough investigation of the car, the team has decided it just needs a few repairs to compete. And the Gannawarra is marking National Reconciliation Week with a walkthrough of the streets of Kerrang. Council is partnering with Mallee District Aboriginal Services to organise an entire morning of activities on May 27. Hello again. The effects of COVID is still wreaking havoc on our health system and schools. Health authorities have revealed around 130 staff have taken time off due to COVID or other illness. More schools are also switching to at-home learning, with a staff shortage making it impossible to continue face-to-face. Students in years 3 to 6 at Latham Primary are now learning from home. If you're planning on sending a letter from Belconnen, it might now be a real hoot. Any mail sent from Belconnen's post office will now be imprinted with an image of the infamous owl sculpture. It marks 11 years since the sculpture was unveiled. And one of the greatest rivalries in Super Rugby returns to GIO tomorrow night when the Brumbies take on the Crusaders, 22 years after one of the most controversial moments in ACT sport. The Brumbies boosted by the re-signing of star lock Caden Neville. Hello again. The Latrobe Valley will soon be home to the world's largest indoor barramundi aquaculture farm. More than $30 million has been invested into the project by the federal government. It could produce up to 3,700 tonnes of barramundi per year. The farm will run alongside the Maryvale mill, taking advantage of heat curated from the mill's operation. Almost $50 million was recently invested into the mill's energy from waste project by the government. And 6 weeks on from a fatal helicopter crash at Mount Disappointment, and the families of those that died finally have some answers. A preliminary report by the Australian Transport Safety Bureau says a pilot was met with a wall of clouds moments before it crashed into dense bushland, killing 2 Gippslanders. There was no evidence of any pre-existing mechanical problems with the chopper. A second helicopter following behind managed to land safely. Hello again. Police have made a breakthrough in their investigation into the death of a scuba diver in Newcastle. The man died while trying to recover more than 50 kilograms of cocaine from a freight ship berthed in the port of Newcastle. A 62-year-old man was arrested at a Cairns airport yesterday as he attempted to board a flight to Singapore. He's been charged with drug import offences and was due for extradition to New South Wales this afternoon. The Waratah Super Battery is a step closer to becoming the largest network battery in the Southern Hemisphere. More than 30 expressions of interest have been submitted from around the world. Once finished, the battery will act as a shock absorber, protecting our energy supply from future bushfires and lightning strikes. And Labor is calling on the state government to include Maitland in the washing machine rebate trial. It'll cover a large chunk of the cost of a washing machine. Hello again. Blue Haven Illawarra has paid tribute to its aged care workers on this International Nurses Day. The CEO says workers have overcome incredible difficulties during the pandemic. It comes as aged care workers and elderly residents gather in Wollongong to protest industry issues. They've called on the federal government to address problems including wage rises and additional training. There's been a string of armed robberies at a Wollongong service station. Police have now released the CCTV images from the incidents earlier this year. A service station on Rotary Road in Ballarat was targeted by an unknown offender 3 times between February and April. And the Narooma swimming pool will close for 8 weeks while the facility's air handling system is upgraded. The current system hasn't been replaced in 17 years and was starting to fail. The improved technology will see more consistent temperatures in and out of the pool.